Hey, what's up everybody? We are back again, and let me tell you, today we have a very interesting one because ever since I put out that entire video talking about Pyrxciter, his connection to Young Rare, and the possible scamming that he was doing, I've been getting a lot of backlash online, let me tell you. Now, if you're actually a normal person and you're not somebody who's overly invested in irrelevant rapper drama, you might have missed out on the prior videos that I did about Young Rare. If you did and you want to know more about that, go check those out because I'm not going to be talking too much about him here. He's already got enough attention on my channel. And I'm more so just want to talk about Pyrxciter and his entire reaction to the video because we already know Young Rare is a weirdo. I don't really need to talk too much more about that, but the reaction that he had to my video was very interesting, I have to say. Now, his immediate reaction happened on my Instagram post where he goes on to say, "I ain't got nothing to do with Rare no more, and Kitsune, check your DMs." Now, I have quite a bit to say about the Rare stuff, and trust me, I definitely will in the second half of this video, but right now I want to primarily focus on the scamming because that's mostly what a lot of people had issues with on my prior video. And immediately after Pyrxciter ended up commenting that, he would then reach out to Kitsune saying, "Yep, totally forgot, what's your email?" Now, it's kind of funny to say that after all this time, but I do have to give him props that he did immediately go to Kitsune and try to make the situation right. And immediately after that, the two of them get to talking. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the entire conversation here, and honestly, I don't really need it. It's probably just the two of them talking about me, talking about the video, and basically trying to make things right. He says something along the lines of, "I never scammed in my life. Can you go ahead and tell Twisted not to harass my name anymore? I don't have contact with," and then it cuts off. Kitsune then responds to that by saying, "I got you in the podcast. We supposed to do one sometime this week or next." He doesn't really respond back to much. He then goes on to say, "I got you, gang. Just want to apologize and shit because low-key it was blown out of proportion and I did not know he was going to bring up Rare. I just noticed I bought that feature recently when I looked back on our DMs like a week ago." So there you have it. Pyrxciter never ended up scamming Kitsune. It was completely blown out of proportion by me, who was clearly hungry for drama and looking for content because I have nothing else to post. Unfortunately though, it doesn't seem like Pyrxciter actually wanted to make the situation right. He only ended up reaching out to Kitsune because he wanted something to use against me, and he would immediately post it on his story. He ends up posting their DMs and saying, "I am not a scammer, bruh never even sent me the feature." Now, this is the main argument that him and all of his friends have been using, that Kitsune never sent an open, so there was nothing for him to jump onto. But the thing is, even though he never sent you an open, he did send you the money. He sent you $50 for a feature, and you never ended up following up on that. You never ended up asking for an open or really trying to get him what he paid for in any way. You let the situation go on for over 3 years, and then only when you were called out did you decide to try to make it right. But the thing is, you still never sent the feature, and you never sent the money back. But I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm sure Pyrxciter forgot, I'm sure Kitsune probably forgot. The only thing is that after he reached out to you, you probably should have answered him, and you probably should keep track of who you're taking money from. I'm not saying that you're going out of your way to try to scam people. I'm sure that's not what happened here, but that's why I immediately tagged both you and Kitsune so you could make the situation right. So you should have sent him the feature and not tried to use that as a bullet point against me, because honestly, I don't care. As long as you get him the feature, it doesn't really matter. But overall, the scamming was a very small part of the video. I felt like it was worth addressing. In fact, when Kitsune sent that to me, I was going to make a whole video, but I was like, you know what? It's not that big of a deal. The only reason I made the video in the first place was because you were defending Young Rare. Now, I absolutely don't understand what Pyrxciter has been trying to do over the last few days. He ended up commenting on my YouTube video too, basically saying that he doesn't mess with Rare, and he ended up fixing the situation with Kitsune. But the thing is, what do you mean you have nothing to do with Rare? Your entire career was built off working with Young Rare. Your biggest song is Moshi Moshi with Young Rare. But you know what? That was a while ago. You're probably not working with him anymore. But to my surprise, you ended up posting an entire video called Young Rare Debunked, and that was only like 3 to 4 days ago. A whole video where you talk about how me and Julia contradict ourselves and that Young Rare is actually innocent on all charges. Not only that, but you then hopped into the comments and tried to defend Young Rare even more. You also went on to comment on Phoenix's post about you working with Young Rare, writing paragraphs upon paragraphs talking about how everything is hearsay and that Young Rare never got convicted of anything. So you were definitely defending the guy pretty heavy one day before I put that video out. But as soon as I dropped my video, you start saying I got nothing to do with Rare. Well, that's very interesting. Why would you drop an entire 6-minute video defending Rare if you got nothing to do with them? It definitely seems like you guys might be a little bit closer than you're letting on. Here's what Pyrxciter had to say on Phoenix's video one day before I dropped mine. "You forgot to zoom in on the word suspicious. Let me know the definition of that too while you're at it." Phoenix responds by saying, "Ask the people who were there, yeah. King has spoken on this many times. Go watch a Twisted World video. Evidence is really out there for free. He said send it to me." So Pyrxciter's basically trying to pretend like he never saw the videos before, but after watching it, he had even more to say. Y'all are never able to present any info showing anything other than hearsay. People talk and make up stories all day, and these motherfuckers could have been paid off to say that BS for all I know. Each side of the story is messy and has little to no evidence, little meaning the people around him got convicted for abuse and etc. And Jalen only got convicted for a burglary charge. He got arrested on suspicion and then having charges dropped. It's not the same as proving guilty, serving time for said crime, and no one can still present concrete evidence. No text, screenshots, videos, or paperwork. I'm not going to believe in something I can't see, especially from people I don't know. I watched the vid yesterday and they all failed to show any paperwork stating Jalen did anything. All you will hear is the charges were dropped. Contradiction. Now it's funny you mention a contradiction when you had all that to say the day prior before my video came out defending Jalen. Not even Young Rare, you're on a first name basis, and then immediately after the video comes out, I got nothing to do with Young Rare. I would never try to defend him. I mean, dude, if you're gonna try to play this card that you were never defending Young Rare in the first place, why didn't you take the video down? Why didn't you delete some of your comments? I mean, you're contradicting yourself right in the open and you didn't even try to cover your tracks. But I think these responses to Pyrxciter probably explain it best. First of all, we got Phoenix saying laughing my ass off the backtracking. Yeah, it's pretty funny for you to say that when you were arguing with Phoenix the prior day. We then have a fan of Pyrxciter saying no offense, but didn't he really help make your career? You genuinely switching up now when he was defending you. But then again, that's an outside perspective. So Pyrxciter is basically stuck in this damned if he does, damned if he doesn't situation, because after all, Young Rare made his entire career, and for the longest time he was able to flex that he had Moshi Moshi with all these streams, but now that it's come out that they botted all of that and that Young Rare is a creep, he's really stuck. Because if he ends up cutting off Young Rare, then a lot of fans are going to say he switched up because Young Rare made his entire career, and after all, the two of them are definitely friends. I mean, they were on a live stream together. Don't pretend that Pyrxciter was a random feature on a Young Rare track. These two definitely were friends. But if he tries to defend Rare, then he knows he's going to go down with Jeepers Creepers. So basically, he's been sitting in this weird middle ground for the past year where he's never really said a whole lot about Rare, never really acknowledged him, but never came out against him either. And at the same time, man, I don't care. It doesn't really matter if you're working with the guy or not, but when you're trying to defend him and the actions that he took, that's when it becomes an entirely different thing. Because I know a lot of people would probably say that I'm doing the same thing for working with King, but the difference is that I never tried to defend King for his actions. Yes, I've worked with him. Yes, I think he's become a better person, but if you're totally disgusted by the things that he did in his past, that's totally okay. I'm not out here trying to convince people that King never did the things that he did, because he definitely did, and he also admitted to it, but you guys are out here actively trying to clear Rare when he got charged with some of the most disgusting crimes that anybody can get charged with. You guys really want to pull me back into the same discussion that we've been having for the past year. You want me to debate against Rare once again? He already had his chance 5 months ago when he was promoting that other song. I'm not getting into this argument over again. But the next day after I don't respond to Pyrxciter, he ends up doubling down saying, I've been said this, ain't no running away now. I gave you time to fix this, now the whole gang on your ass. He then goes on to say, because at this point, I don't with neither side. Wow, well good for you, Pyrxciter. I'm so happy that you decided to not be on either side after you got called out for defending Rare. You definitely would have came to that conclusion on your own, and the two of you definitely still aren't cool to this day, right? Well, unfortunately for Pyrxciter, dumbass Rare ended up coming out of the woodwork and completely exposed Pyrxciter for the two of them still being cool. He ends up writing out this whole paragraph saying, out of all the artists I've met in 6 years, it's Pyrex who has the best moral compass and character, so lying on bro is sorry, disabled people. How the fuck y'all trying to drag that spiritual center? Anybody could tell you that dude is a solid kid, but because these content creators care more about social media engagement than actual facts, it's easy to get lost in the sea of misinformation and bullshit. And honestly, I gotta say that's kinda sad. Young Rare is really sticking his neck out here for Pyrxciter, and Pyrxciter is trying his hardest to get away from Young Rare. I mean, you guys gotta admit, you're friends behind the scenes, you've been friends all this time, and you're only now trying to cut that cord because you got called out. Anyways, when it comes to Rare's response, there's no way I'm going to be reading this all out. He's been tagging me on his story for the past couple days, desperately trying to get my attention so he can promote his new song. I'm really done giving this guy attention. He knows what he is. He knows what he's done. I'm not having any more intellectual discussions with you. The only thing I really want to point out is the one story where he says I'm not a reporter and I'm a content creator. You're exactly right. I'm a content creator. I'm not a reporter. Never claimed to be. It's also funny how he's actively lying about the fact that I blocked him. He said that he couldn't tag me on the post, but I'm tagged on the post, so clearly I never blocked you, don't have you blocked, never did. You made a new account and I didn't block it. Not to mention he ended up taking down this entire post because he knew that it made Pyrxciter look worse. I guarantee you Pyrxciter ended up hitting him up and being like, Rare, please take this down, I'm not supposed to be associated with you. And even though Pyrxciter is trying to claim that he never defended Young Rare and he's trying to distance himself as much as he possibly can, Young Rare is now using this as an opportunity to climb his way back into the rap game and then drop another song, so clearly you're helping the guy out. And during the time that all of this was going down, down. King ended up getting into a fight with Rare. I'm not going to go into all of that. Leprosy decided to reach out to Pyrxciter saying, brother, I always seen you as a friend. That's why I didn't come crazy. I genuinely was hoping you wouldn't fuck with Rare after all the bullshit, and I really didn't want it to come to this. And Pyrxciter ends up responding with this.
Hell, I don't. He a fucking Fortnite God. I don't got nothing to do with that nigga.
He then goes on to say the exact same thing on his story, basically saying that Rare is a Fortnite God and that's the only reason that he was defending him.
Man, the nigga you beef with look like a aggressive toasted strawberry pop toy. Hurry up and eat that nigga, man. Fuck wrong with that boy? I don't fuck with Rare because that nigga is a Fortnite God. Bruh, had all this damn time. This nigga just be letting shit go on, bruh. You know damn well you can knock these niggas the fuck off. And you just be in the shadows somewhere, hiding and shit, nigga. And dodging shit. Dodging me. That's why a lot of people mad at your ass, nigga. And just be going with the narratives, cause your ass be dodging niggas. I understand, you got shit to do. What the fuck ever. Although I catch you on your story being a Fortnite God every night, nigga. That's why I don't fuck with that nigga. He a Fortnite God, nigga. You got real life shit going on and you wanna fucking soy sauce booty ass nigga.
Yeah, man, that's definitely why you were down on both knees with your mouth open trying to defend the Fortnite God. It's all because he's a Fortnite God. That's why you were defending a literal. And overall, I want to say about this entire situation that I feel like Pyrxciter just genuinely isn't all that intelligent. I really feel like he ended up getting himself into a situation that was bigger than he thought it would be, and once he got stuck in that, he didn't know what to do. I'm going to be honest with you, dude, I don't think your career is over. I don't think that everything is all bad, and this will eventually fade away, but the next time you end up getting caught in controversy, try not to contradict yourself that much. Stop being so overly reactive and aggressive and emotional about everything that somebody says to you. If you really want to be a big time artist, people are going to talk a lot of shit, and you don't need to make entire videos and write out paragraphs trying to defend your point. If you really wanted to keep working with Rare, then you should have kept it under wraps. There was no reason to respond to Phoenix like that, making an entire video. It clearly shows that you have a massive ego, and now that Young Rare's gone down, you can't handle the criticism. And because you decided to react so aggressively and contradict yourself so many times, you ended up putting yourself in a situation where now more people are going to know about you because of this entire event than your actual music. And as for all your friends, honestly, I don't really have a whole lot to say about them. They're trying to defend you. They really feel like you're a good friend to them. So that does say quite a bit about your character. Don't think you're actually a bad guy. I just think you're kind of unintelligent. The only one I'm actually going to respond to is young Carnage because he clearly really wants some attention from me. He ended up getting into a back and forth with King where he actually ended up doxing King's home address, but honestly I don't want to get into that too much. I only want to focus on the response that he had to me. He said, you want to pull up and crash out for your butt buddy Twisted World? Is that kid's channel that valuable to you? I'll give you a big smooch on the forehead, little dude. Go sit down and record another podcast. Now honestly buddy, I don't really have too much to say to you. After all, I am only a kid with a YouTube channel, but it seems like my YouTube channel might be pretty important to you as well, considering the fact that you hit me up a couple months ago begging to be on the podcast. And when I didn't respond to you for a couple months, you ended up hitting me up again saying, hey, I just wanted to make sure you didn't forget about me. Well, apparently I ended up forgetting about you, and that really put you in your feelings. But I guess that goes to show that if you don't give these little guys attention for too long, they end up biting the hand that feeds. So buddy, suck. I have decided upon further reflection that maybe that was a little bit too harsh, so instead I want to say young Carnage. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. I probably shouldn't be telling you to suck my dick. My bad. And for everybody watching from the outside, I really hope this video was entertaining. I really went down the skibbity hole for this one and got in with some of the most irrelevant rappers of all time to bring you some entertainment. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you like this type of video, make sure to let me know, because after all, you're the ones I do this all for. I wouldn't be getting into this bullshit drama if it wasn't to entertain the audience, and a lot of these people don't understand that, but hey, it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.